The most difficult is quad day. I'll say legs, but I split my legs up. The most difficult is quads, for a fact. There's nothing more taxing than quads. And quad day, even on when I'm just going to train quads by myself, I start getting a bit of anxiety the day before, the morning of. It's just scary and it hurts. I hate training legs.
All right, today's off day, and we're doing hamstring because the family and I went to DC on Friday, and I didn't drink enough water. I mean, I was just exhausted. I knew if I tried to train legs Friday night, I took my meals and everything, but if I tried to train legs Friday night, it wouldn't have been good. So I saved hamstrings and glutes for today. On the off day, we're just going to try to crush it. We're not going to do many spine loaded movements because my hammies and lower back are pretty sore from the heavy barbell rows we did on Monday. So today's going to be very hamstring isolated, glute isolation, and then we'll crush it with some lunges for sure. Intensity is still going to be high. I'm just not going to do heavy RDLs today. And then I have quads on Friday. So is this an ideal thing to do? No, but it's compliance. It gets me back mentally on schedule. It's one reason I like a 5-day training split is because one of those 2 off days can be considered a floater day. If there's a suboptimal day to train, you can just move that day somewhere else. Again, this is all for the sake for me to get a good workout. I want to have a good workout, and I'm still hitting every muscle group that I need to in the week. Order of operations will be a little different simply because of lower back recovery. I'm not sure if I said this already, but we're going to see Dylan after this at optimal performance, so he'll work on me after this, so let's keep him in business. Alright, so on these hamstring curls, we're actually going to hug the handle, and this Cybex is one of the best seated hamstring curl machines to do this on. The reason I'm doing this hug here is because it lengthens my hamstring. It's as if I'm trying to touch my toes. So it really helps me put blood into my hamstrings throughout the set. This isn't wrong either, but this is a much better stretch. And you can get a really nice contraction, and it's really sturdy in the seat. And when I'm doing this, I'm just thinking of doing a preacher bicep curl machine, just as if I'm doing bicep curls, but for my hamstrings. Your hamstring is a bicep. It closes the limb, just like a bicep curl closes the limb, closing your limb. If I haven't mentioned that this closes the limb, it does. And it's actually the anatomical name for hamstring, one of them, is bicep femoris. So on this, we could grip the handles and just rip the curl, but we're doing this one a little more finesse because, again, this is a preacher curl. Imagine I was here and I was doing bicep preacher curls. It's the same thing. This is my femur, this is my foot, this is my calf. We're just curling. That's all this is. Now with these curls, I'm trying to thrust my hip at the top of the contraction into the floor, squeezing my glutes. Next time you do a lying hamstring curl, try to maintain hip thrust into the pad the entire time. And if you can't on the concentric, try to hip thrust on the isometric and maintain it for the eccentric. Alright, so that's pretty much what we're going to be doing here. Once I can't maintain the hip, do a curl again with the hip thrust, I'll just do traditional curls where you'll see my hip raise. Okay? We're doing the belt squat now because we already put stress on the spine earlier this week. The belt squat is a great alternative for a compound movement where I would typically do like dumbbell sumo deadlifts or really heavy RDLs, barbell squats, or really heavy high and wide leg press. This is a great alternative because there's no spinal compression. The weight is loaded at the pelvis and it's pulling you down. So anytime you're trying to hit a compound squat and your lower back is sore, or you just want to recover a little more, this is a great alternative. Today's a rushed quad day. It's a makeup from last week because I had family in, so we did hamstrings earlier this week. The reason I prioritize hamstrings earlier in the week is because it's one of my weaker body parts from a bodybuilding analyzing picture standpoint, so I wanted to prioritize hamstrings. Quads are decent, so we're going to do all hypertrophy work, no working sets. We're just going to put as much blood in the quad as possible. In the gym, out of the gym as quickly as possible to eat. I'm going to start with some mobility work. I kind of like to analyze how my biomechanics are from bodyweight squats and pistol squats, and then we'll just go straight into some pre-exhaustion, isolate the quad, do FST7 on the leg extension, and then we'll get to our presses. And then if you're still here by that time, I'm going to do some variation of a single leg quad dominant press, and then I'm going to end with lunges. No squats today, no hack squat today. My spine needs a rest, even from the compression too. So we're going to use that. That's going to be our main compound movement today, is that pin select Cybex leg press. It hits so well. Again, when you find what hits for you, you get stronger at it, stay in it, and just fuck it up. Your targeted muscle will grow, I promise. All right, enough yapping. Let's get straight to the old school work. Let's go. All right, 7 sets, pure pain, 20-second rest, 15 to 20 reps, 12 to 15. Then the rest is going to be like 10 to 15. Getting heavier until I find that point where if I went heavier, I would get less of a contraction. So as heavy as you can without hitting diminishing returns. We're gonna go 4 sets max effort here. Yeah, I'm not deciding when I'm gonna rep here. When your own brain decides when to press again, this is just, you don't need to do this in your training if you're just starting out. It's just a fun game to play, like if you're training with a partner. So I'm gonna have Andrew call out my next reps. I need to hold the bottom portion of the rep. And the moment that he says go or press, I press and then I bring the weight stack right hovering over the top again. And we're gonna do this as heavy as possible, so it really demands a lot of control. Again, this week we're not doing any PRs or anything like that, and I can't add more weight to this machine, so we're just gonna make it tougher than it needs to be. Up. 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 Up.
Hey everybody, Andrew here, just reminding you to like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're up to date with all of our new videos. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I would love to thank my sponsors. First off, I'd like to thank my coach, Ricky Socias, Ben at Benefits Body Shop, Dylan with Optimal Performance, he's my chiro and PT. I'd like to thank Lev, the owner of Health Pack Meals, Revive DMV. I'd like to thank the Chicken Pound. I'd like to thank my wife, Drea. Love to thank Andrew, the man behind the camera. So, all of the discount codes and the links are in the description below. Let's get it.